Hello, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jack, and today we're going to put the Sub 37 up against the Pro 2. And coming up, I've got to check out behind me because we're going to jam over one of Danish Pete's backing tracks called Chugging the Chode in B minor. You dig? Chugging the Chode. Oh, ramblings in B minor. Not one of my favourite keys, and it modulated, but we dealt with it. Today we are flying with, in the corner, the Maltese Falcon. You dig? What? Always here by my side, flying. And what has brought about this video is the Pro 2 has dropped in price here. Andertons, check out the link below to check that price, because we're in the midst of political turmoil here in England. And that affects the prices of synthesizers, and might do in the coming weeks or minutes. Onto the sound. We were playing two presets there that I quickly found, but we're going to get straight to it and analyze the core sound. Found sound as a pound. All right, let's do that. I'm going to in it. The catchy one here, global. Down to 36 right now. Okay, we have initialized the presets in both of these synthesizers. And we're just going to have a listen to the core waveforms, starting off with, which one do you want to start with, Chris?
Moog.
Moog, okay, we're just going to hear it. Yep. Pro 2. Ooh. Had a little bit of mod on there. Interestino. You're right, let's have a look. Here's a core feature difference. I'm going to read through the features in a bit, but obviously we've got analog oscillators in here. We've got complex digital oscillators in the Pro 2. When it came out, I can remember a lot of further ado about these things, but let's have a little sweep through and see what the shape does on this. Whereas on the Moog oscillator, Moog, hey, let's get back into it. Moog, that's for my friend Mylar Melodies and Alex. Sorry, let's get back on the Moog train. I'm gonna have a little listen to this bad boy. That's the sign. Here's the... So we can go in between the other oscillator types, but they're not, we haven't got that same shape functionality that you get by having these digital oscillators. So a lot more flexibility there in terms of your core weight. Let's have a listen to some of the core waves. I can do that on here. So if we go to, this has got a super saw. That's a sawtooth, this is super saw. Pulse. And here's the pulse width. Well, let's keep here with these ones. Pulse, triangle. It's really hard to get this on 0. There we go. Sine. Really is shaking the room. We had a gasp of breath from the Maltese Falcon over there. Don't worry, he's got enough food and water. And here we get into some funky stuff, a Tynes waveform. Mellow, church. Muted. You're getting the idea. So I'm seeing these wavetables here and these waveforms. There's also 4 oscillators in here, and each of those has its own envelope, I'm pretty sure, and can be pitched. So essentially a 4-note paraphonic synthesizer, which I might be able to get my head around and demonstrate in a bit, but that's for the guys out there. Let's keep on the core sounds. Let's listen to the core oscillators here. Sorry, I'm dealing with a Subway I had for lunch, so if I'm pausing a lot between my speech. Here's the bottom one. Triangle. Moving it round to a saw. That's the saw. Round to the square wave, and where's the apostrophe? Do we have any there? I can't see any on that one. There must be. Anyway, round to a really nasally wave there. Right, let's get on a big brash saw wave and sweep the filter, you dig? Okay, we're gonna sweep the filter. First, let's remind ourselves of this is the a saw wave on both. Let's do that. Seems to be a very different timbre. I'm a bit confused by it. One is very room-filling. Maybe the fact, again, this is in mono, this is in stereo. It alludes, this also has an effects engine that we'll get to. But let's sweep the filters on these, because now we're getting into, they both have analog filters. So let's sweep the filter on this bad boy, and we are set to a 24 dB low pass. Here we go. Big and brassy, half mast on the resonance. Full resonance. Wicked, I like that, I like that. If I turn the mixers right down. We can play that filter, that's cool. Nice, I like that. Okay, let's hear the filter on this. We've actually got 2 filters, that's another big difference between them. This is a multi-mode filter here, which is really good at this price point, so we can change the degree of the slopes on there, but there are 2 filters here. Let's just listen to one taking off the cutoff off of a note. Not quite as brassy. Let's go half amount on the resonance. Much more subtle, the resonance. Full mast. Crikey, O'Reilly. Some really different sound. I mean, you can hear a huge difference. Also, we've got the second filter here that is got a variable state from a notch to a high pass. Also, they can be put into parallel or series, which I'm not going to go through. This has been out for a long time. There's some great videos, but just to show you that there's a difference. This seems to be more geared to the guys that are really going to tinker, really going to go deep into sound design. So anyway, that's a quick listen to the filters. I'm going to click to, we're going to play through maybe the first 5 presets on each one of these, and I'm just going to have a little bit of a shred. So bear with me. Hopefully that gave you an idea of the core flavour of it, and then at the end we'll just do a little shootout on the specs and we'll see what happens. Interesting so far. I think so. Okay, first 5 presets. So we're going to kick off with preset number 1 on the Square. It's called Square Bass on the Pro 2. And here's where I turn to my trusted feathered friend. Could we have a key for me to wibble in for these 2 keyboards, please?
E minor.
E minor, great. We're going to stay in the world of E minor. Thank you, brother. Square Bass. This one is called Analog Delay, and I'm going to play something in E minor. Let's see what happens. Interesting thing it's doing there with arpeggiator, I think, and some modulatione. Cascades. Key, please, Chris.
D.
Thank you, brother. Getting a rather large dollop of why there's a lot more going on under the hood of the Pro 2. We had 4 notes there. I'm playing. It's essentially looked at as a monophonic synth, but I've got 4 notes of polyphony. That was a good way of showing it off, I thought. Let's flick to the next chap on here, which is called Angry Sweep, and we're in D again. Reminded me loads of Heartbeats by The Knife when I played that one, for anyone as old as me. Right, Cascades, let's go to the next one. Pro Soloist. Key, please, Chris.
A.
Hey. I was looking at the Maltese Falcon saying, what is this anthem? I do not know it. It's a silly anthem of a large... Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Don't get political, Jack. Bass 21. And we're in... what were we in? A. Milestone on B. Oh, some heft in there. 2 more to go. Bear with me, bear with me. Washy strings.
F.
Yeah. Polyphony to me. Great. Brash Boss, and we were in... What were we in just then? What key were we in? God, crikey. Very different proposition, DSI raw rhythm. That's what it's called, DSR raw rhythm.
DSR raw rhythm.
Give me a key, please, Christopher.
Let's go for C.
And that's a nice feature. I know this has got a sequencer, but this has a sequencer also with 4 CV outs, 4 CV in. So really cool center of a modular setup, and you can see those guys. If you're that way inclined and you like complexity in your synths and you're not a Luddite like me, you'll be all right. Let's kick this groove off. Interesting from synth, right. Last one from this chap. Dark Minds. We're gonna see. Golden Poodle! Go to the Golden Poodle! Interesting, that was nice. Hopefully that gave you a flavour of how the two things sound. They sound very different. It's not just a question of the specs on paper. I think what I've found, and it also gives me an excuse not to waffle on about stuff I'm trying to learn to care about, but when you play 2 synthesizers like this and you actually give it just a go to play with it, you can really hear the different sonic space it might occupy in your productions. So I think it's a stylistic decision as much as just a spec decision. Anyway, that's one little bit. I think we'll wrap it up here actually, and I'll leave you with some music at the end to go away from. What I like is and the main difference here in the room, I was very shocked by the core power of these oscillators. I never have sat in front of the two and compared them like this myself. And we were just talking when we flicked between shots. I'm surprised that it sounded like the Moog to me didn't have as much top end. And is that a bad thing? It's up to you. It really, again, to me, it would lend. This has such a big, brash, huge sound in stereo. Paraphonic nature of it as well really opens it up. But then, does it sound like a Moog? I'm flicking between Moog and Moog today. Does it sound that just has a sound? If you want the Moog sound, this is still everyone's lusting after this. I find in the shop, this is the definitive one. I know we've got the Moog one out there, and we've got some other ones, but this really encompasses. And playing-wise, they both have great keyboards. And I'm going to stop waffling on and leave you. Let's find another thing that we can leave to. Plonkets. Okay, thanks for watching the video. If you like what we're doing here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We've got loads more videos coming up. And have a look at the links of these. Again, this is on a really good deal at the moment, the Pro 2. So is the Sub 37. They're both fabulous keyboards. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a jam. Carimboloid mixed with G-Thing Play High. That's the two patches we're going to mesh together. And again, yeah, check out Danish Pete's backing tracks if you like playing dodgy licks over things like at the beginning. Let's rock. Ha ha ha.